Hey guys, it's Miss Russell and I'm ready to draw with you today. We are focusing on the elephant from Horton Hears a Who. It is Horton. Here are two different Horton drawings. Now you do not have to do the exact one that I am going to show you. If you would like to look at the story, I have put a link on our Google Classroom, our Bitmoji Classroom. If you look for the picture of Horton Hears a Who, it'll have the story and then you can come up with your own Horton drawing. But I will do one with you today. I'm going to draw the standing Horton here. I'll put these off to the side. The first thing is that our paper needs to be horizontal. So this is horizontal. That would be vertical. We want it horizontal. As always, please remember it is okay if your drawing does not look like my drawing. You have to remember that myself and most of the YouTubers that you'll find that are putting out drawings, a lot of us have gone to college for art. I've spent many years practicing. You guys are still learning. All that I want to see is that you're trying and you're drawing. You draw the best you can, and the more you practice, the better you're going to get. And this drawing is probably one of our harder drawings we've done. So I want to see a picture, your own drawing of Horton, however it is you choose to draw. I'm going to show you this standing Horton though. I want you to draw with pencil so that you can erase when needed. I'm drawing with marker because the camera does not see pencil very well when you're drawing. So I'm going to draw with marker, but I want you to draw with pencil. I want your Horton to be pretty big. Look how big that is. It takes up most of the paper. I'm going to start with Horton's eyes right over here. They're just ovals. I'm going to try and draw sideways. There's an eye, and here's an eye. And I'm going to add his pupils. What are the pupils? Yeah, that's the black dots in your eye. And then the color around it is actually called your iris. So there are my Horton's eyeballs. I tried to make them look to where they are looking more to the side because he's going to be holding the puffball that he finds. So right here we're going to add the front of his face, and it's just going to come in here. And then his trunk is going to curve. So I start with this line, but then I'm going to curve it back. That's a little tricky. I'm going to take it, I'm going to curve it back. It's almost like a really funny S, like a S. You add it the way you can. This is his trunk. I'm going to leave a little space, and then I'm going to bring it back into his head, and then it kind of goes where his mouth is going to be. Back at his trunk, I'm going to add the little top of the trunk. At any point, you can always erase if you don't like what you've done. It's okay. I'm going to add this stem for the puffball, and then add these little lines coming out because the puffball was really spiky looking, fluffy. Okay, so we have his trunk and it goes into his mouth. We're going to come back to his head and we're going to add his ears. So I'm going to start with this ear, and it starts just about where his head started, and it's going to come up and out. He is an elephant. They do have really big ears. And then the bottom of his ear, they're just a wavy line. I'm going to skip around his little puff ball that he's holding. I just went and back up. I'm going to show his other ear over here, give it some space. So I come all the way across to where the side of his eye is. Once again, it goes up and out. And then his little zigzags to come in. And connected it to his mouth. The start of his mouth, really. So here we're going to come back and we're going to add Horton's mouth in. I think I'm going to take this and add a line right there. So his mouth is going to be right here. And then take that line down there. And showing his tongue. That's what this line is. There's his tongue. I like my Horton to be happy. I gave him a little smile. And the top of his head. He's got some little puffy hair. And his eyebrows. Elephants have a lot of skin, so adding little lines underneath his eyes right here. I'll come back and add some of these other lines a little bit later. Now let's go on to his body. So this Horton's body is going to start kind of in the middle of his ear, and we're going to draw his back, and it's going to curve down. Then we'll come to the front of his body and curve it down too. Move this up some. His legs. He does have kind of small legs for an elephant. It's really just fun how Dr. Seuss would create his work. If you didn't know, Horton Here's a Who is by Dr. Seuss, and he does a lot of the artwork for it, so it's really just fun. To start his leg, it's almost like a backward L. And I'll draw the front. And then he needs his foot. That foot's a little small. I made it a little more bigger in my other drawing. Every drawing's a little different, and that's okay. He needs his second leg. It just comes right down beside and there. We're gonna come back here and draw his back legs. I like to start with the thigh and add his foot. And then it's gonna go up. And we're gonna add a tail. His tail's got some little fur, little puffball. He needs his belly. His belly would come from this line. We'll skip over. And then he needs the second leg. And if you want to add some little toenails, let me see, I added mine right here. And then we're going to add all these little wrinkles. I'm going to come back to his trunk and add some curved lines. If you want to add more, feel free to. This one, I'm going to add a little inside line here and another inside line there. Then you decide where you add them. I like to show where his knees are. And put some on his back. So every drawing's just a little different. You can see. Take your time, change things the way you want, or try a completely different Horton. Make him doing something different. But include your little puffball. Once you're done with your drawing, then I want you to trace over with crayon or marker. It's your choice. But I don't want you to color in at the moment. Just trace it over the way you want. Any colors that you want. It does not have to be like the real Horton. It does not have to be like a real elephant. You trace it, take your time. Send me your artwork either on your Artsonia account or through our Google Classroom. And next week, we're going to do more to this drawing. Thanks for drawing with me.